in the women's 69 kilo class. 13 contenders. It's a really big field. 152 pounds, 10 3/4 stones, and it's a field full of talent. But there are a couple of people who really stand out here, not least of all Russia's two-time world and four-time European champion Oksana Slivenko. But we're getting underway. Poland's Eva Mizdal, 24 years of age, coming out to take the first lift of the competition, 97 kilos. And alongside myself, David Goldstrom, Randy Strossen from Iron Mind. Good evening, Randy.
Hello, David. Good to be here. So
97 kilos. And the spread amongst these 13 competitors, 24 kilos. 6 from Asia, 5 from Europe, couple from Africa. So it really is reflective of the world of weightlifting.
If you did the math, you know how big the class is from those numbers.
Nicely executed start though by Eva Mizdal, who was 5th in this year's European Championships in Kazan, warming up for the Worlds.
And with 13 lifters in this class, the lightest weights are what we're going to see first. This is the lightest attempt in the class.
It is indeed, and it prompts me from what you've just said, Randy, just to say that, for example, Oksana Slivenko has posted 115 kilos as her opener. And in terms of, you know, world class here, Slivenko really does represent that. Slivenko, who trying to keep the title in Russian hands after Svetlana Shimkova actually won it last year. Now, this is the first of 2 lifters from Taipei. This is the younger and the least experienced, but saying that she is the Asian Championship silver medalist of this year, and opening up on 98 kilos. That's 2 kilos short of what she lifted in the Asian Champs in Tongling. And she's a lifter, Randy, who's come down in weight. She competed last year in Antalya at 75 kilos, so she's come back down to 69.
She's going to jump up and jump down. That's the snatch.
A little earlier in the day, of course, we had a B group category for those who entered totals not quite as big as those we're dealing with tonight, but the best of the best in the B group, well, came out as Marina Skermankova, representing Belarus, who did 6 out of 6. Very good. 107 her best snatch effort, 131 her best clean and jerk, for a total of 238. Now that's a decent performance.
Absolutely.
238 would, you know, she could argue she could have been squeezed into this competition.
Indeed, some of the front runners here are pretty close to 238 in recent past.
So now, the first of 2 Kazakh lifters. This is Irina Nekrasova, 23 years of age, and that's a good start.
Boy, this is the beauty of the snatch. Snatch should look easy, even if it's a heavyweight. Look at this. I mean, this is like the hot knife through butter. I mean, it's just nothing. There's no resistance. Watch this. She just makes it look as graceful as it is, all executed literally less than 1 second.
So a good start for the Olympic champion from Beijing. That was in the 63 kilo class. She's now moved up, and we move on to the first appearance of Esmat Mansour from Egypt. Home for her is Alexandria. And the coaches are looking for 107 from her tonight. So she's starting on 100.
Nice lift. You've got some pretty good intel if you've got the goal dialed into the kilo. How'd you manage that?
Had a chat with them.
Ah, boy.
They do say that she's a really hard worker in the training hall. And now from one part of Africa to another, and this is the tall and elegant Gail Neo Kechanka, also 23 years of age, posted a total of 245, so very interesting to see how she goes here. I couldn't get too much information about her. She's done well in the African Championships, but this is a different cup of tea. That's a very nice start.
Indeed, you know, sometimes you see someone that slender and you say, well, how could she or he lift big weights? Well, this is 100 kilos. I mean, there are a lot of American high school football players who couldn't do this if their life depended on it.
Well, as every coach will tell you around here, the first attempts are weights which the lifters have done a million times, and it's the weight which should actually get you going without any fuss and bother. And let's hope this continues. And now we've seen one Kazakh lifter. This is the youth Olympic champion at 63 kilos from last year in Singapore. Alexei Neve looking on at Zahazira Zapakul, just 17 years of age. 100 on the bar. Good again.
Yeah, a very solid lift, I would say. No wiggle, no wobble, no anything, but just lift the bar up, get the body back under it, and get the down signal. Locks the bar out overhead, waits for the down signal, and gets the white lights.
So Alexei taking his charge back to prepare for the next attempt. Meanwhile, here comes the Universiade silver medalist representing Korea. This is Moon Yura. Sometimes the Universiade isn't the highest of qualities of competition, but this year's edition in Shenzhen in China was decent. And this young woman on that occasion lifted 108 kilos. And this is her starter, and again, very good.
Very nice. Watch the bottom position on this, if we can see it in the slow motion. You see very low, which is just what you'd like mechanically. Look how low she goes.
And again, another lifter, Randy, in transition, having moved up after last year's Worlds where she was in the 63 kilo class. So the first of the second attempts coming around now, and this is Eva Mizdal from Poland out again. Eva, who got us going, she's taking a 3 kilo increase here. Now, all her performances so far in the snatch in recent years have been in the 90s. She's now in the hundreds, so fingers crossed. In other words, this is for a personal best in competition. So that's the first bit of red on the board.
And you shouldn't have said that. See, I was ready to welcome her to the land of triple digits.
Well, to be perfectly honest, Randy, the second attempt is something that should be well within our compass. It's the third one where you push yourself generally into unknown territory.
Right, that's the theory, huh? We haven't seen the practice quite pan out that way, right, the last couple of nights, but yeah, but you're absolutely right. You'd like the second to definitely be on the board, and then maybe the third's a bit of a stretch.
And I'm not sure that nobody else wants this, so it means that Eva's got 2 minutes in which to prepare herself. I doubt that she'll use all of that. Former under-23 European champion. The introduction of the under-23 championships in Europe has really played a valuable part as a stepping stone. We call it the stairway to heaven. And when you come out of youth and you've got junior and now you've got under-23, it's a motivation to keep young men and women in the sport.
So do you pay Led Zeppelin for that?
So Mizdal with over a minute and needs this. This will be good. This will really boost her confidence. The Polish women's team, like all the teams here, points contributors for the benefit of the whole squad. They want to take 4, which is the maximum possible, to London next year. So the higher she finishes, the more points she gets, the better the contribution to the squad. Well corrected.
And now we can say it. Welcome to the land of triple digits. Notice how carefully she secured her grip on her right hand. Maybe we'll see it in the slow motion. Grip is really important. If you lose that grip, you're going to lose the lift. But she really set the right hand. Nice lift, very low bottom position once again. Well,
there's the lifter from Cameroon, but in fact the bar now going to 102 kilos for the second attempt of Wang of Taipei. This has got a lot of lifters in transition, this class. Some who've gone, well, the odd one who's gone down, but more that have actually moved up from 63 kilos. So Wang, who finished 12th in the world at 75 kilos, but go back to Goyang in 2009. She was 7th in this weight class and totaled 237, and her target tonight is to reach 240. So 102, that's 3 kilos short of her personal best, but this is only her second attempt. So step by step, just a 4 kilo increase. Corrected nicely, I think, Randy.
Yeah, she made a little adjustment. The getting the bar elevated really didn't seem to be too hard, and I thought it was going to be an easy lift. But then, as you noticed, David, she had to settle there a little bit, move around the hips a bit to secure the bar overhead. Might see this in slow motion. And under control now. Waiting for the down signal. Just has to return the bar to the platform at this point and wait for the decision.
In the wings, waiting to go out to open up on 103 kilos. One of Europe's challengers, Yulia Artemova from the Ukraine, a former bronze medalist at European level. That was in Minsk in 2010 when she totaled up 242, which is definitely her best ever total at this particular weight class. And Artemova, who actually has entered 236, so a little on the conservative side, but that's probably because she didn't do that well in the Europeans this year. She was down at 221. So 20 seconds, the opening attempt. Well, as we would hope and as we would expect in a way. Nice workmanlike, and yeah, we don't have the steps off now, we have the door.
I like seeing the speed on this lift. The snatch usually is a very quick lift, and she's moving that bar through the air pretty well.
So a nice bit of noise here for Gail Neo-Kachanka, coming out for her second attempt, taking a 3 kilo increase. Locking on with some purpose. Oh. Well, I thought that was going to be rather better.
Up and down, let's watch in slow motion. I was getting ready to point out something about how her body type affects her position in the lift, but she didn't set the stage for me. She missed the lift. Yeah, she just did not get under that. It wasn't really close to enough elevation on that. And she wasn't really committed, I don't think, to it either, frankly.
Which surprised me, because I thought, you know, her approach has so far suggested that, you know, there is a lot of positivity there. Now the coaches have actually got to work on her now to get this 103.
Yeah. What's her best, you know, David, best performance?
Difficult to tell. The applicant figures are not really reliable as far as, so I don't want to speculate.
Okay.
Now she's well okay for time. She can settle nicely here. She's got more than a minute.
Snatch isn't very exhausting, so you're not huffing and puffing, so you can come out pretty quickly.
But there is just that tendency right across the women's division. They do tend to lift just that little bit more quickly than the men.
Well, she went for that, just didn't quite get it. She's leaving the bar a little bit out front. You'll see it, I think, in the slow motion.
And just a moment to remind you that Marina Shkermankova of Belarus is in the lead with 107. So that's really the mark. We haven't got anywhere near that as the first of the two Russians comes out. And this is Tatiana Matvieva, who's a been a terrific servant to the Russian team. She was runner-up this year in Europe. Comes from Siberia, from a town called Zima, which means winter. 105 kilos to open up. And that will please her fans, and indeed her brother Anatoly, who's flown out here especially to be with her tonight to support her backstage. Matvieva really in her own world up in Siberia.
Watch this. She moves this bar as if it's on rails. Look at this. Just up and down, up and down. Wonderful lift.
Just to finish the geography lesson, where she lives is about 5 hours flying time from Moscow, near Irkutsk, in sort of central Siberia.
So she neighbors with Evgeny Chikashev?
Well, that piece
also Siberian, right?
Yeah, well, Siberia's a big place.
Yeah, they told me that's where men are men. I think the polar bears are afraid.
Now, the second attempt and the second appearance now for Esmat Mansour from Egypt. Opened up on 100, so this is a 5 kilo increase.
Choked. Well, we've seen that a few times already.
Interesting about her, she appeared in the World Championships last year. She was a very, very light 69 kilo. And in fact, if you look at her weight tonight, 67.95. She's not the lightest, because actually Irina Nekrasova of the Kazakhstan weighed in at 65.38, and she's the lightest of the class.
Yeah, it's funny because she looks large out there, doesn't she? Physically large, doesn't she?
Yeah.
To me, she does.
Well, I think appropriate for this weight category.
I mean, relative to some of the other competitors,
yeah,
she seems, you know, very substantial, so the body weight can be deceptive.
So Munura now to come out and try to do exactly the same thing, which is to get 105 kilos for herself and Korea. Well, we had a great start on the first attempts, but now 1 or 2, in fact 5 have run into trouble on second attempts.
Right, and losing traction below the high water mark of the B session, to keep this in perspective.
Should just also mention that there are lifters who've not yet started. Melin Dalusian of Armenia, the world bronze medalist from last year. Zhang Yanmai of China, yet to start her challenge. The Asian champion from this year, and of course Oksana Slivenko, the 2-time world and 4-time European champion. This is Wang of Taipei. Third attempt. This is for 3 out of 3. This is another 3 kilos. She got 102. She started on 98. And that takes her up into silver medal position at the moment.
Well, she stuck that too. After just talking about misses, loss of traction, etc., she hammers this.
And that's right on her personal best as well, 105. So equaling her personal best. Now, Esmat Mansour You already sense, Randy, that this is quite nip and tuck. Okay, there are 2 or 3 big lifters out there who might go and take the gold, silver and bronze, but if any of them run into trouble, getting these lifts now are really important.
I was watching that closely because she squandered that second attempt. I just, mine went blank.
Yeah, and that's just left her down on 100, and that's problematic because, there's going to be a distance between her and the big favorite, so that's a problem for the Egyptian. Disappointing.
Absolutely. Only got the opener 100. Well below, once again, well below the level of the top lifters in the B session. So it's not going to be a player in this class at this point.
Now, Mansour couldn't lift up 105 and sort of save the first half of the competition. Now, Mura faces the same challenge for Korea. Otherwise, she'll be on 100. At the moment, she's down in 15th place because of those good performances in the B group. And that's where she stays, down in 15th.
Just too heavy for her. It's almost as if no sooner than we say no one's missing, they start to miss.
Well, the lightest of the whole class is about to come out now. This is Nekrasova. You're not looking at her there. That's the Korean going back. But here is quite tall and elegant, actually, Irina Nekrasova. 2 Kazakhs in the competition. 65 kilos, 38. So let's see whether she can pick up 107 kilos. This is a second attempt, so this is a 7 kilo increase, Randy. Decent.
Big, bold. And warranted.
But one of the things, of course, that's in her favor is her experience.
Yeah.
Having been an Olympic medalist at 63 kilos, have been to the big stage, the biggest stage of all, she knows how to handle this sort of occasion.
Huge increase, as you pointed out, David, 7 kilos. And you can see why they elected to do that, a weight well within her ability.
Yeah, I mean, when she won the Olympics at 63, won the silver medal, she actually 110 kilos contributed to her total. So, you would expect her to be up there. And now from one Kazakhstan lifter to another, Zazira Zapakul, the youngster of the whole class this evening, the Youth Olympic winner at the lighter weight of 63 kilos, also going for 107. Fascinating that the Kazakhs had them going on exactly the same path. That was also 7 kilos up.
Yeah, she really tried to squeeze herself under that. Didn't quite get the right arm under and locked out. Watch the right side in particular with the bars overhead. Yeah.
And you see, there's been, over the last years now, considerable success by the Kazakh lifters. If you go back, from really 2009, and, the likes of Podabedova and Ilya Ilin, these people will be inspiring a lot of people in Kazakhstan, and there is good financial support for the sport in Kazakhstan. Now, Yulia Artemova representing the Ukraine. This is for her a 4 kilo increase. Just to put her into silver medal, but not to be. So just at the moment, leading is Irina Nekrasova with 107 kilos, ahead of Marina Skermankova of Belarus. Now she's leading because of body weight, because Nekrasova weighed in at 65.38. The woman from the B group, Skermankova, actually weighed in at 68.14. In third place, bronze medal at the moment, Wang Ya-xian of Taipei. But still to start, Dalusian of Armenia, Zhang of China, and Slivenko of Russia. Alexei Neve lives every lift, doesn't he?
He does. I mean, he's a bit of the drama king, too. It's too bad they can't keep a camera on him simultaneously. That was, I think, more distant than the second.
Yeah, and if you could see Alexei now, he'd be very unhappy.
Yeah. Yeah, he might be twisting and writhing on the floor, pounding the concrete. Just not high enough. And I don't think she really attacks that weight. Did you have the feeling too, Dave? She was hanging back just a bit on that.
I'd err with you on that. I don't think there was enough aggression to actually go and complete that. So disappointing. And Artemova's out now for her third and final attempt. 107. And again, here she is in 5th place at the moment, going for 2nd spot. But more importantly, to keep herself in touch. And that is much better. But the loss of that 2nd attempt could be very costly. On a day, she can do 111. She should have got more than 107. Bar going to 108. And just to keep you in touch what's happening backstage, Oksana Slivenko, 115 her opener, Zhang 110, Delucian 112. So you could say at this particular moment, Kazakh hopes are pinned on this woman, Nekrasova.
Yeah.
Well, you can't complain, really. That's 3 out of 3. I would just be very interested to see how effective she can be in the clean and jerk phase. She's posted 121 as her opener, and that compares with someone like Delucian, 140, and Zhang, 140, and 145 for Slivenko. So from the 3 lifts I've seen to her, I'm just get the sense that this is probably her forte.
Yeah, you know, it's taken this long really to get above the level of the B session, but yeah, now we're going to see the women coming out are going to really drop the hammer on this lift. Yeah,
Zhang Yanmei, China have had mixed fortunes here in the first few days of the competition. This is day 5, and this is the Asian champion who won the title on home ground in Tongling with 115 kilos as the snatch contribution. Well, it wasn't textbook, but she saved it, corrected, and got it.
Yeah, you know, the pole was looking smooth, but it looked a little, there were some ragged edges. I don't want to say the whole lift.
The central referee wasn't happy with it. Now, again, this is one of these where we're high and far away, and when we look direct down on the stage,
this is probably the raggedness, though, that we observed, you know, ragged edges. Let's see if an arm unlocks when we get a view from the front. Right arm, maybe.
Oof.
Looks a little shaky, frankly, too, overhead.
I think it's the shakiness which is deceptive.
It's not, doesn't bode well for the jerk, though, if you're shaking overhead in the snatch.
And 39 seconds for Tatiana Matvieva. They've got caught out here a little bit, the Russians. 2nd attempt coming up at 110 kilos. Did this in Europe. Never won the world title. She's been runner-up. That was back in Santo Domingo in 2006. Well done. She saved the coach's day as well as her own.
Why do you think he should have gotten her out there a bit earlier?
I mean, yeah, I mean, you know, that's what you have to be. I mean, that's why you have a team of coaches.
Yeah, she had enough of a time margin, though. I mean, I think in a way, it's good to not be able to just lollygag out there. You know, you have to be purposeful, and she was confident enough time-wise that she took the time to chalk up. And but she had to keep moving and couldn't, you know, talk herself out of it or go grocery shopping along the way. And I think that worked out well, especially because she made the lift.
Well, now the more experienced lifter from Taipei, Huang Shi-shu, and according to the records that have been filed here, actually aged 35.
Yeah.
I went chasing and checking. Unfortunately, none of the Taipei coaches could speak English, and I don't speak Chinese. So we couldn't really get much out. Well, 111 is a decent opener. Well, now one or two more familiar faces, but a lifter.
You see her stepping forward. That's to stay under the bar. The bar's a little bit out front. She can take a step or two forward to maintain control and then get the down signal.
Well, you're looking at Matvieva, but in fact, bar's gone to 112 now, but I can't believe that Huang's going to come out for that.
And we still have two lifters who haven't started. We've got Delusian and Slavenko.
Yeah, I'm just having a look here. Delusian must have gone up. In fact,
did.
She's gone up to 116. So it could, well, is Huang just going to take an extra kilo? Really? No. Matvieva's coming out with 113. That makes a lot more sense. Matvieva, who was European champion 5 years ago. I think in a sense she's a very good workmanlike lifter, but she's inevitably been in the shadow of someone like Oksana Slivenko, who's basically a stronger lifter
and casts a very wide shadow on those around her.
Yeah, fun person though.
Is she?
Oh yeah, more of that when we see her. Now Matvieva for 3 out of 3, 113. So this for the lead to go into the gold medal position in the snatch. 20 seconds. Not to be, I'm afraid. That leaves her in the bronze medal position at the moment. Haven't actually seen her lift this weight for quite a long time. I mean, it would be something like 5 or 6 years. So Zhang Yanmei. Now, having got that first lift under the belt, I'm expecting something a little bit more, shall we say, fluid and fluent.
It was. I mean, and she wasn't quivering at the top. A 4 kilo increase, so they maintain, I think, their confidence in the lifter. And a better attempt, clearly a better attempt than the opener.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it was 115. I couldn't tell if it was 115 or 16 for sure. 115, so Delusian's coming out.
Yeah.
Has Slavenko gone up now to 116?
So I thought it was 116, but in fact, yeah, you're perfectly right. It is
115 kilos for her first attempt. Her name is Oksana.
But now she's gone up to 116, and so now Slavenko will be coming out at the 115.
So a few games starting already here.
Yeah, and when I said shadow, what I meant by that is she's the only woman, I think, in this class who really frequents the 260 on up sort of elevation. I mean, she's comfortable at that altitude. Most of these other lifters have barely dipped a toe there.
So the woman who's posted 260 as her entry total, very much the favorite for this competition. Nice steady bottom position drives. That looked pretty straightforward to me, that. Oksana Slivenko, who lives pretty close to the center of Moscow in a suburb called Cherkov. It's a bit like being in Wimbledon in relation to London. And apart from her lifting, she's coached by Vladimir Safanov, I should say. Young man. And more about that as Malin Delusian now comes out to try and riposte. snatch world record, just for the interest here. 128 kilos, the great Liu Chunhong of China.
Oh, big miss. And the old look at the hand, right?
And that's not an auspicious start, because she no-totaled in Kazan as well. And yet another lifter who was unaware. You know, a lot of the coaches do the wise thing. They bring their lifters in for familiarization. It's important to know how the warm-up room works, where the stage is. And because this is a different configuration, you know, it's actually a mistake that they don't know this. They haven't been briefed.
Well, that was out front. She might have torn a callus, but that wasn't the reason, I don't think, why she missed the lift. I mean, just speculation on my part.
Well, Huang now for Taipei.
5-kilo increase, that shows some confidence in her.
Indeed, and Taipei have never won this particular competition. Armenia, Russia, China, Thailand. Those are the names that appear on the past roll of honor, or countries. Oh, well, that was very unusual.
Yeah, she really kind of gets blown out the back. You know, if she in fact is 35, that's really quite extraordinary, because you have to be very quick in this sport. And 35, you know, you're relatively ancient compared to the other competitors. Looked good to that point. I'm not sure what happened, why she lost control standing up. Looks to me as if it's overhead. I think her hips maybe just went back a little bit too much and lost control forward. Pity. Good point. She's coming off a bomb out, right? Earlier this year at the other big one, the European Championships.
Yeah. You know, she's been European champion on a couple of occasions. She's been third in the world. That was last year when she did 112, 139 for 251. 116 is a big starter for her.
Whoa.
No. And suddenly you're trying to duck walk to get back under the bar, and one of the big favorites now is under real pressure now.
Yeah, and shifting first to the left, you know, and I was ready to apologize, because obviously, you know, they did tape her hand. Look at her right hand, it's bandaged up, and she was looking better on that lift, but the bar is drifting to her left. She tries to move that direction, then the duck walk forward, trying to maintain control, and for a moment it looked as if she would save it, but she did not. Okay, watch all the section movement from this point on. There's the left and the forward, and there's the miss, and there's the reaction.
Meanwhile, here comes a young woman looking for 3 out of 3 and the lead. Well done. .110, 114, 116 for Zhang, the teenager, just 19 years of age. And that is very well handled. Remember, Slivenko still has 2 attempts to come.
She really goes after this weight. I'm sorry, David. She really attacked that. Did you think so too? I mean, she just ripped into that thing.
I think the confidence grew all the way through. Now, Huang, at the moment, in the bronze medal position, because she's got 111, but 116 would push her up from bronze to silver, so it could be useful with Deleuzian under extreme pressure. Taipei yet to medal at these championships. Excellent, excellent.
Boy, she made it when she had to.
It's one of the frustrations of this sport is that, unlike a lot of international federations, Randy, this sport does not have an official competitor number by which you can track everybody in terms of their performance, their biography, their anti-doping record and everything else, which means that, you know, when you get someone like that, you can't actually, you know, perhaps be giving her more credit than we're able to at the moment, which is frustrating.
Because of the age, the ability to confirm the age.
Yeah, exactly. Now, huge moment. Armenia. No.
Ran out of real estate and bombs out in the snatch. Now, of course, one of the consequences of that is we just saw the silver medal lift, right, in the snatch, right? That was a silver medal lift for her.
Absolutely right, because there are only there's only really Slavenko out there now.
Right. So it's this woman who might be 35 years old just picked up a silver medal in the snatch, no less, which is the quicker of the two lifts, at the World Championships. I mean, that's really...
Look at the despair.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because there's no total, and this means 2 major championships in the same year. On the eve of the Olympics, she has failed.
And the team, it's the team thing.
Now, Oksana Slavenko out for her second attempt at 118 kilos. Second in the World Championships in Goyang. Won this title in 2006 and 2007.
Surprising. You know, she's dodged a bullet. If that's the path she's on, she's lucky that Armenia had even more trouble.
Yes.
Because if Delusian had been on her game, if this is what Slavenko's capable of tonight, the tables would have been turned.
Well, let's put this in context, you see, because Yanmai of China, 68 kilos 40, is in the lead on 116 kilos, and it's her lighter body weight that kept her ahead of the Taipei lifter, Huang, who's in silver medal position, and at the moment, Slavenko's with 115 kilos only in bronze. And you'd be expecting her to actually, you know, take, perhaps she should have been taking something like 120 kilos forward to the second half. Now, she can't do that now.
Sure. Yeah, no, absolutely, because she's the junior world record holder, isn't she, at 123, isn't she? Is that right? I mean, she's used to lifting bigger weights.
Well, Slavenko, about junior world records, I wasn't actually thinking about that, but...
Just to give you an idea, I mean...
Yeah, 123, you're absolutely right, yeah. Now, this is a must lift. That's what champions do. Pulls it out of the far and gives herself a 2-kilo advantage. But didn't exactly go to plan, Randy.
Yeah, and I'm concerned. I'm sitting here in silence because I would have thought, as you suggested, she'd have 120 plus.
Yeah.
And quite a plus going into the clean jerk. And the way she's coming off now, she's a pro. She's going to have that game face on, but I don't know. Things are not going the way they hoped at this point. But, you know, that being said, things are worse in the Armenian camp, and she's the leader going into the clean and jerk.
Yeah, I mean, she's a clean and jerk ability there is certainly in the mid 140s, 145, which she's posted. It'd be interesting to see whether she comes down off that. Of course, Zhang has posted 140 as her opening clean and jerk. And also Delusian. Well, Delusian still could do damage in the clean and jerk, but she's not going to do damage overall. So that's one problem wiped out the way. So some thoughts there, I have to say, for the Russian camp. This woman who, one of her big hobbies is shopping, big time. Slavenko, 118 kilos, 2 ahead of Zhang, who by virtue of lighter body weight stays ahead of Huang. China ahead of Taipei. Then you drop 6 kilos down to Matvieva, the second of the 2 Russians. And then just below her, Nekrasova of Kazakhstan, Artemova 107. But you can see now when you get to Artemova, you're 11 kilos off the lead. And that's starting. And look at the B group there. Marina Shkermankova of Belarus. That's a really good job by her. 107 kilos to find herself that high in the ranking. So well done to her. And there at the bottom of the list, red, red, red for Delusian. And a big failure Well, the medals have gone to Russia, China, and Taipei. And Oksana Slivenko, well, 1:15, and then a failure at 1:18, and then 1:18 again. You know, so not where she wanted to be, really.
But the good news is she's in the lead.
And having a look at Huang now. Huang Shi-su of Taipei. Well, she didn't get the 1:16 on the second attempt, but she did get it third time around, which is really important. And 1:16, and but for the fact, you know, that she was just that little bit heavier than her Chinese rival, Zhang, this would have been the gold. So good effort by Huang. And interesting to see how effective she is in the clean and jerk phase. Zhang, who got the silver medal. And you've got to say that Zhang is the outstanding competitor of the first half, because she got 3 out of 3. Nekrasova of also Kazakhstan got 3 out of 3, but those are the only two in the A group who actually completed as required and as expected. But so let's have a look at Slivenko's lift. That's coming up now. Last attempt of Slivenko. I mean, basically, Randy put it right, but, you know, left herself really without the cushion of kilos that she would have been looking for.
Yeah, you know, I thought she was holding her back a little bit when she came off. Did you think she was favoring that? And she doesn't really seem to be spot on, right?
It sounds really strange to make that sort of observation at a world championship. Over 23 years of age, who was the Olympic silver medalist at 63 kilos, bringing forward 109 kilos. And she's the sort of lifter who could profit, Randy, if some of the favorites fall away. No, it's not a good lift.
Yeah, and I was going to say a lot of them would have to fall away. I mean, this is really quite a low opener. I mean, as far as what we'd expect from the top levels in this class, we've got women here who are going to do in the 140s, I think.
Yeah, I made the point actually in the first half of the competition that I thought that the snatch phase was going to be her forte.
And you're right.
And 121 is a relatively modest opener for her. I mean, she is getting used to this new weight class.
She's so tall in this class, it's hard to imagine her in a lighter one.
Yeah, by contrast, here's her teammate, completely different physique. Zazira Zapakul, 5 years her junior, but didn't have a great time in the first half. She's down in 15th place after 2 failures at 107. She's only got 100 kilos towards her total. By contrast, relatively, this may be her strongest suit.
Yeah, it was good left.
And just a reminder of those who lifted earlier in the day, 238 is the best total so far. And that was set up by Marina Shkermankova, I should say, of Belarus. 107, 131 kilos in the snatch, and that's 10 kilos more than where we are at this moment. So that 238 was a decent total.
Absolutely.
Nekrasova
Should be good.
Yeah, make sure this time. So gets her total. Moves her up to 8th place in the overall, but now we're dealing with lifters who've got an awful lot of catching up to do, probably too much, to be honest. Their destiny is in the hands of others. If they succeed and others fail, then they may move up, but other than that, they're stuck down in the lower echelons. Now, Esmat Mansour, disappointed in the first half of the competition. Can she do better with the clean and jerk? Finally.
Well, yeah, walking around quite a bit on that. David, look, Delusion's pulled out.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, I'm not surprised, I should say, because I just think, you know, the heart's gone out of it. But, you know, we were talking about it last night with Dabaya. You know, he had 3 major championships where he didn't get a total, and it's really hard to come back from those. And she's in a very difficult pocket at the moment. Now, Artemova for the Ukraine to open up here. Artemova, top 6 at the halfway stage. Power jerk. And I think that's going to take her up to 4th place.
Yeah, a couple things surprising there. Watch her feet don't move out to the side when she cleans them, and then power jerk. Now she'll drive the bar up, and then she'll do about a quarter squat under it. So rather than splitting the feet front and back, they go to the sides and the knees bend.
Not much emotion there, is there?
No, pretty placid, right?
122 kilos.
Quite a difference to what I experienced last season in Delhi at the Commonwealth Games.
Yeah.
You know, when people were making lifts there was, you know, it was sort of like South Pacific joy and happiness. So Nekrasova, that failure at 121 has really limited her. You know, she's actually only put a kilo on the bar here. Is she really going to come out with that? For just 122? 39 seconds, she can't. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Couldn't believe that.
124 kilos, please.
Eva Mizdal from Poland, who set a new best mark in the snatch phase, coming out on 124, and this is equal to her best ever competition lift in the clean and jerk at this weight. There's almost a say a little prayer moment there.
Trzymaj, stój.
Taking care of business here. Clean. Now she's bend the knees squat, not even a quarter squat. Straighten them out and ram her body under the bar.
It's a good example of how the bar is supposed to be, absolutely motionless.
Right.
Now we go to Korea and Munura. Mun, not a great first half, also one of a few who only managed 100 kilos. But when you do that, you haul yourself up from 18th into the top 10.
Now, this isn't the oscillation, but watch if we see it on the replay. Watch how she doesn't pause with the bar when she stands up with the clean. Now watch. And watch the ends of the bar. Plates are still moving a little bit. And then dips and drives. if you take advantage of the mechanical energy in the bar, it can really aid you, and that's what oscillation is, you know, a rule about, that you can't have the bar bouncing up and down. But she didn't pause much at the top and times that dip for the jerk perfectly.
Yeah, there are plenty of lifters you'll see here, and throughout the rest of the week, he'll push it to the edge of that rule.
And some will cross the line.
Yeah. Zapakul coming out now for 126. So this is a 5 kilo increase. And again, this is to pull herself back into the overall top 10.
Oh. Yeah, that was a nice little save. I almost thought maybe she was going to lose her feet, you know, out from under her coming forwards. You know, we see quite a few lifters who jerk with a wide grip. This is an example of a pretty narrow grip. Means she's pretty confident in her jerk and in the lockout. Let's see if we can figure out what made her dance around like that at the end of the lift. Watch her feet. Boy, that right foot really turned over the ankle. She could have really badly sprained ankle, plus even worse than that, lost the lift.
Yeah, she was a bit of good luck there, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just slipped. But anyway, happily no harm done. And here comes the first of the two Taipei lifters, the younger. This is Wang Ya Shen, returning to the 69 kilo class for these World Championships, and 127 on the bar. Now this would take her up into second place overall if she picks this up. Well, I'm disappointed for that because she wasn't a million miles away from completing.
Yeah, you know, this is a good one maybe to watch if we see in slow motion. Watch the ends of the bar when she recovers from the squat and gets set for the jerk. See if we'll see it.
Where are our coaches?
Well, she's really holding her hip. Yeah.
Could do with a bit of support.
Yeah.
You know what
I don't mean to interrupt. Don't watch the ends of the bar here, though. We didn't see it. That's okay. We'll get a good example of oscillation yet.
Do you get the sense that the Taipei coaches have loaded all their fortunes across to the other lifter? Egypt. Never been to Alexandria, but everybody tells me it's an amazing place. Fought for it.
Well, she's not pleased with that. Watch, she's quick under the bar, which is good because you'll see she doesn't have a lot of extra leg strength for standing up with the weight. Watch, gonna work a little bit. Goes deep in the split for the jerk. Seems to have it overhead. It's gonna get the down signal and I think sort of roar.
Yeah, Roy is absolutely right. She's just not got to grips with this weight category yet. Now Artemova for the Ukraine. 5 kilo increase. And you can see those extra kilos on that bar. Another power. She's strong overhead, though.
Yeah, she is. In fact, you know, good observation. She couldn't power jerk that well or with that much confidence if she weren't strong overhead. Watch her right foot if we see it in slow motion. Goes, seems to me, well farther out than the left. Not that I guess it really matters to work for her. Dip, and she's going about a quarter squat. There it is. Stamps those feet down. Kind of nice to see a power jerk now and then, just kind of a change in the rhythm of the lifting.
229. Now Wang. Now, is that hip all right? She needs to execute the first half of this lift unfussily with great economy.
Well, it's heavy for her.
Well, she tried, but I've got a feeling that her coaches have put her into a part of the land which she's not ready for. You know,
she's sort of hobbling off too, David. I don't mean to interrupt, but doesn't it look like as if she's hobbling off a little bit too?
Yeah, but what I'm getting at is she did 122 in the Asian Championships. They put her in at 127 here, and I've seen this already earlier this week. One or two who are actually putting their lifters in at, you know, perhaps more hope than realism. You know, get one straightforward score on the board.
Yeah, because she's in real trouble now. She's missed twice on that weight, and I think she might tweak something.
I mean, it's worth emphasizing that Marina Skermankova of Belarus at 238 kilos at this moment is actually in the lead, still from the B group. So she's taking scalps all the time. You were saying?
Well, that was not, I mean, it's what we saw in the snatch. That was not an insignificant total that she posted. A 230-something total is very respectable. And some of the top women in this class, I think I might have mentioned some passing at the beginning, some of the top women in this class were in that range not very long ago. Boy, here comes the inner tiger.
8 seconds. Well done. That is the best of the cleans. Go. Come on. Hold those.
Oh, good for her. Yeah, celebrate. You deserve it. You earned that. See, look how she's walking. Don't you think she's walking gingerly?
Yeah, but all credit to her, because that's great stuff.
Second attempt for Eva Misdal-Polan, 128 kilos. Samarkul from Kazakhstan, be prepared.
Onto the stage, Eva Misdal, silver medalist. Sorry, what I was going to say, 128 kilos, second attempt. So 3 red lights there for Eva. Just a little bit of background here, Randy, on the woman who leads the competition at the moment, and that's the woman from the B group from Belarus. Quite a useful competitor, under 23 European champion in Limassol last season, and this year in Bucharest, under 23 bronze medalist, and she was totaling up 231 there, so she's gone to 231 to 238. So pretty good numbers. And in fact, she's a junior, not just under 23. Now, Zapakul, third attempt, 128 kilos.
Punches the weight, staggers around a little bit, doesn't really matter, it's good left.
But that only totals her up to 228, and as I was saying, Skaya Mankova of Belarus, 238. You know, that she's finished, the Kazakh lifter, but she's 10 kilos off. You know, all the time, this Belarus woman who was born in 1990, so that makes her 21 years of age. So just in junior, but certainly in under 23 ranks, doing really, really well. And it's worth mentioning also the Colombian now, Mercedes Isabel Perez Tigrero, who also competed in that class and has got 230 kilos. And she's in 5th place at the moment. So Eva Misdal on a repair mission here. Two personal bests.
Yeah, she had to work for that. She earned that. Doesn't look like she has great arm lockouts. She's got to have good body position plus some strength. Pretty deep in the split. Has to rotate a little bit in the split to keep the bar overhead. She doesn't quit and she gets the good lift. Watch this now. See how deep she is. She's got to adjust. She's rotating. Got to bring her feet together carefully to not lose control of the bar. Success.
Yeah, and that's a 228 for her. Personal best in the snatch, personal best in the clean and jerk, personal best overall. Now, here's an interesting jump. 8 kilos. And this would take her to 238 as well. Left on 230.
Yeah, interesting situation because she missed her opener. She came back, made it pretty easily, and then as you point out, really quite a monstrous jump. You know, 8 kilos is really huge, especially, you know, for weights in this range. And watch this jerk. I mean, it looks to me as if it's sort of a combination of a squat and split. You know, look at that. Maybe she was trying to do like a jerk like Jurg Vardanian.
Yeah, and the rules in the women's division is that you enter your total and then you must finish within 15 kilos of that total, otherwise you would be disqualified. And you know, Nekrasova has just finished on 230. She posted 236. So she would have actually had to have finished in, what, 221. So she's safe in that regard, but not a stellar evening. Now, Mansour has demonstrated her fight and her fire. One more go. Gotta believe. And I just sensed that she, whatever belief she had, it was draining out of her by the second.
Yeah, it was kind of a big third attempt, I thought, because she made her open in the snatch, missed the next two, got off to a good start in the clean and jerk, and to really kind of cement the turnaround, you would have liked to see her nail that third attempt clean and jerk.
Now, one other piece of news that's come through from the back room, we don't know why, but Gail Neo Kachanka of the Cameroon has actually pulled out of the competition. So we started with 13, we're down to 11 because of course Delusian's not coming out for Armenia. But now here is the silver medalist at the, bronze medalist I should say, at the halfway stage, bringing forward 116 kilos. Now how effective can she be at the clean and jerk? 130 for her opening weight, and this is absolutely as originally proposed. Well, that's 246.
And very solid lift.
240.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, Brandy, I was going to say 246. She posted 251 as a target, and that is within reach.
Yeah, you know, she's going according to plan. She's putting a first attempt in there that's a very doable weight. It's not something that she's got to really stretch for. And obviously, it's not a really puny weight either. It's not an insignificant weight.
No.
She's looking good tonight.
We don't expect to see Oksana Slavenko till 145 kilos or Zhang till 140, but the way things are going, they might modify those starters. Mura 131, that is good. 6 kilo increase to take her into the 230s, 231. Huang Shi-Xiu of Taipei, who lifted that 130 before this young woman, currently leads the competition ahead of Marina Skermankova of Belarus. And Artemova, who's currently in 3rd place overall. This would take her to 238. Third time unlucky. She would have gone ahead of the woman in the B group who's gained another scalp here, you know.
Yeah. Power jerk didn't work this time. The clean looked a little harder for her, too. And in particular, watch the angle of her upper body. She's coming up. Shoulders are coming down a little bit. And we'll miss this.
We stop the clock. We add 1 kilo to the weight and to the third attempt of
Well, I'm just trying to do the maths here now. How many lifts have we got left here? We've got Matvieva, who has yet to start. She's got 3. Zhang, who's got 3, 6. Oksana, 3, 9. So there's 3 people out there.
I get 12.
Well, you got 12 all in all?
Yeah, 5. Counting's never really been my strength.
I was just trying to do the maths as to whether...
No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 that time. While we are struggling counting up to the neighborhood of 10, she knocks this off pretty well.
Yeah, quite clearly much more at home in the second half of the competition, because she's got 3 good attempts in there, 125, 131, 133. So really good lifting. Goes up to 4th overall, does Mun. And in 1st place in the clean and jerk on the 133 at the moment. So Huang, 135. I think this is a pretty crucial lift, this one. There's 5 kilos extra here, because this is going to take her into the 251. And if she does that, she's on target with a lift to spare, which is really well done. But this is a bit of a test.
Boy.
Very well prepared tonight.
Yeah.
Physically and mentally, she's totally in the zone.
Yeah, she's having a good night, and that was another lift. It was just, there was no doubt about it. I mean, this was good all the way through. From soup to nuts, this thing was on track.
Good economy on the clean.
I just hope they don't later say, oh, we should have been a little bit more aggressive, because she still looks to me as if she's lifting well within herself. Okay, you don't want to overstretch, you don't want to take weights that are too aggressive, but you don't want to leave anything on the table either, especially not because she's chasing some leaders here.
Yeah, but she's also setting them a target, because, you know, kilos on the board. And now the bar going to 138 kilos for Tatiana Matvieva. That's according to plan. Now Matvieva missed out on that 3rd snatch of 113, so she only brings forward 110, and she finds herself at the halfway stage, 8 kilos down on her teammate. Now that's the issue.
plus her teammates got a huge clean and jerk.
Well, at the end, it's all right, Randy, but it didn't really make it easy for herself.
Well, the bar looks to me as if it's tilting to the right as she's cleaning it, and then she corrects for that, you know, adjusts, and the jerk looks fine, looks solid. Watch the bar, you can see it there. See, it's tilting over to the right. And look at that jerk, feet are narrow, indicating she doesn't have to go very deep because she's strong enough she can get that bar overhead.
That's Zhang. Now Zhang's posted 140, so I think that's where we're going now for Zhang to come out. The bar's still on 139, but I'm pretty sure that's going to go to 140 any moment. Matvieva just pacing a little bit. Now Zhang.
First attempt, the junior competitor from China. First attempt.
Seeing a lot of juniors at this competition, and here's yet another one, right?
Yeah, I mean, she's 19, but, you know, winning the Asian Championships, it's not the Asian Games, but it's still a good event to succeed in. And 140 here.
Well, we might have just seen why the coach was rehearsing with her up to the last minute, the movement of the jerk, because you could see she had to walk around with that a little bit.
Takes her up to 256.
Strong clean. Watch her feet now. She's going to walk around a little bit, trying to get control of the bar. Actually, doesn't look so bad in slow motion. Looked shakier, I thought, in real time.
Predictably, Oksana Slivenko has come down 5 kilos. She said she was going to go 145. She's coming in at 140.
She's saying, hey, you know what? Let's get something on the board, right? Doesn't look like you guys are doing so great tonight either.
Yep. She won this title with 263 in Santo Domingo, 276 in 2007 at Chiang Mai. Not much fuss and bother about that.
Now you see why she's the champ that she is. I mean, she just lifts some pretty big weights.
140 kilos. Still on the platform, this time a third.
One of her favorite positions is the BMW Extreme that she drives. So, interesting state of play now. Slivenko, 258, leads. She leads ahead of Zhang Yamei, who's got 256, so the 2 kilo gap is restored. But here's Huang, who's in the bronze medal position, going up to 140 here, another 5 kilos. This would take her up to 256. And Huang is actually heavier than Yang Mai. So why didn't they take the extra kilo, I wonder? That's the reason.
Yeah, well, that's too bad. I would have liked to see her make that. I think she's really produced quite an impressive performance tonight.
Well, she has. She's on 251, which was a target. That was a, you know, lift for nothing, as it were. Yeah. She's got the bronze medal for Taipei. Well done.
Yep.
She's missed out on the clean and jerk medals, but she's got the overall bronze to go with the snatch silver, a snatch bronze. So Matvieva, who is 10 big kilos behind her teammate as we stand at the moment. And I suppose I need to retract that statement really about Huang having secured the bronze medal, because this could actually take it away from her. It's a 5 kilo increase, which would take her to 253. So apologies for misleading there. It's all down to Matvieva at the moment. Again,
yeah, look at it.
Lopsided bar. Not flustered. Really strong overhead, brings those feet in line and together. And suddenly, Matvieva from 4th overall and 3rd in the clean and jerk moves up now. Matvieva first in the jerk with 143 and 253 total, and has just pushed Huang off the bronze medal position overall. But the Type A lifter who's done so well, at least she's got a snatch medal to take home.
Watch how off balance, if we see a little wider shot here, the barbell is, look at this, in the clean, and it still is not level when she jerks. Look, you can tell here, look at the slope of this. Doesn't phase her though.
Yeah, but it doesn't make it any easier either.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe she's just stronger on one side. You know, or shorter or something, and maybe it all comes out in the wash for her.
It's like your arm wrestling.
Well, arm wrestlers are like that. You know, like the one arm is completely different.
Yeah, that's
from
why I
the
challenged
other.
you on the left arm.
Yeah, you know.
I took note where you were wearing your watch.
See? Yeah. Top arm wrestler guy looks like she carries an arm in a violin case, like a gangster.
So, Oksana now 5 kilos up, going for 263. This is up there with the sort of scores that we expect her to produce. And that was important, Randy, because, you know, a mess up there might have just started to open the door of hope for the likes of Zhang, who's got 2 attempts left. And who knows, I mean, a glory lift from Matvieva.
Yeah, because they can smell blood, but in this case, they can't smell blood. They're going, uh-oh, we're going to have to claw our way up if we're going to make any progress.
Yeah, because Slavenko now, with that going into the 260s, you know, he's sort of pushing away, easing away. Olympic silver medalist, of course, totaled up 255 in Beijing, lost out to the great Liu Chunhong of China, who won that with an extraordinary 286. Do you remember that in Beijing?
Yeah, I was there.
Unbelievable.
Incredible day, yeah.
Matvieva now, 145. For a 255 total. Will stay 3rd, but will still move up to 2nd in the clean and jerk.
Boy, look at that.
No, that was so badly taken off the floor.
This was extreme even for her.
Yeah.
As far as the imbalance, and I don't know if that's why she missed it, but
that was just very poor. She hasn't done herself any favors by the look of it either.
now I wonder how hard that might be on her hips too, hitting that asymmetrically at the bottom. Maybe she's always lifted like this. Now watch this. Whoa. And it bounces right back out, but it looks to me as if she's favoring her right hip after that.
I just want to put it in perspective, though, what she's done this evening. I mean, she won the silver medal at the Europeans, 251, so she's got 253. And now Zhang Yanmai putting 148 on the bar, which is an 8-kilo increase. And what she's trying to do here, because she's heavier, not by much, but heavier nonetheless than Oksana Slavenko, is to nip into first place by a kilo. And she still has one attempt after this, like Slavenko. So now we have the headbanger between the two of them. China versus Russia.
This is what it all comes down to. These last 3 attempts, one of them is going to win.
Matvieva has the bronze for Russia.
Right.
Who gets silver and who gets gold.
This is the duel.
So Zhang Yanmai reckons that she can do 148. She's done 146. And she's cleaned 148. Arms out.
The jerk's going to be the thing that decides. Whoa.
Oh.
Whoa, what a great effort. Wait till we see this. I mean, how deep did she have to go in that split to make that jerk stick?
And that's a super piece of will. I will do this.
Yeah.
I will take this.
She could have quit real easily. Clean isn't super hard. Watch this now. Watch how deep she goes. Watch her front thigh in relationship to the platform. I'll give you an idea how deep she is. Look at this. Look at that. I mean, if she were a power lifter, I mean, that would be way deeper than a squat you need in a lot of federations.
So now, bless her, because she's given us some excitement here.
Yeah.
She's forcing Slavenko, and Slavenko has put the bar to 148.
Which is really interesting because she's got to decide now, A, what can I lift, and B, what can she lift? And Slavenko says, okay, these are my cards. This is what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I mean, when she won the world title in Chiang Mai, she clean and jerked 157, oh, sorry, 156. Yeah. No way is she in condition to do that now. So, you know, in recent times, she's been 145, 146. So, how, you know, she needs this. This is no gimme.
Yeah, no, she's got it. The thing is, she has to make a weight that she can lift. She has to select a weight that she can lift. Now, she'd like it to be the biggest weight, but really the most important thing is she needs to lift more than she did on the second attempt. So she's got to make this lift.
And the only thing we can say, which is also an advantage, is the fact that she's slightly lighter than Zhang, which means Zhang can't take just 2 kilos. She's going to have to take 3 kilos, whatever, to get past Slavenko, if Slavenko can do this.
Right. Yeah, this is the game of nerves now. How strong am I? How strong do I think you are?
13 contenders, potentially 39 lifts in the first half and 39 in the second half, but it all comes down to 2. So the 2-time world champion and 4-time European champion, who last year was runner-up to Shimkova of Russia. Clean. Yes. Yes.
Okay, she did her part. She made the lift, so she did not lose the gold medal at this point. She hasn't yet won it because now everything is out of her hands, but she did her part, unless she later says, oh, I should put more weight on the bar, you know, made it tougher for her. But right now, she's in first place. But guess who's coming up?
266 is the total to beat here. So 151, the 3 kilos that Yan Mai has got to take. The Chinese women's team hasn't had all the fortune we would have expected. If they win this, this is a big win for them to take it away from the Russians.
Yeah, and we're seeing, David, I think the build-up for London, because now we're seeing we've got 2 women in this class with 260-something total.
Russians who won this title 4 times since 2005. They've been the dominant force in numerical terms. But this, for the 69-kilo Women's Championship of the World. One lift, 151. Can she stand up? Yes. She can. Is it? Oh, she got deep again.
Even deeper.
But Slavenko just about got it right. It was not a stellar performance by Slavenko. The kilos may read a different story, but the story behind the kilos, very different.
Yeah, but you know, David, she still totaled more than she did at the Europeans, didn't she? And she was pressed there, right?
Yeah, Slavenko, she did 265.
Yeah.
5 out of 6.
Yeah, so this was not, she was not a slouch here. And she, you know what, she responded to the competition. You know,
she's looking very cool now, isn't she?
Yeah, well, like, no, she's going like, I dodged the bullet.
Yeah.
You know, for some reason, some of the excitement didn't seem to maybe settle in one particular place in this contest, but we saw an amazing battle at the very end of this. This was terrific. Very high-level competition, giving us genuinely a taste of what we're going to see in London next year.
We might have to rush away, so I just want to go through the order for everyone at home. Oksana Slavenko from Russia is the world champion. Once again, this is a 3rd world title. The runner-up is Zhang Yanmai, who adds the silver medal from the Asian Championships to the silver medal here. And then, sorry, the gold medal from the Asian Championships to the silver medal here. And Tatiana Matvieva, there she is in the bronze medal position. And Huang Shisu of Taipei, excellent competition from her. You can see that 135 in the clean and jerk, just misses out on the clean and jerk. She's got a medal from the snatch phase. Munyura much more happy. Look at that, 3 out of 3 there. And Skermankova from the B group there, 131, her contribution to a total of 238, which has actually put her into 5th place overall. So that's an excellent day's lifting, and keep a note of that name because she's only 21 years of age, the Belarus lifter. Much more from her to come. And at the bottom of the page there, you can see Kachanka, who never came out, Delusian, who never came out for the second half of the competition. So it was a nail biter at the end, and Slivenko might look pretty cool now that she was in a pretty close fight. And there you can see it, 266 by 2 kilos. She takes it from the Chinese. It's a 1-3 there for Russia. Huang in 4th place, right on the target she posted for himself. And there in 5th place, the lifter from the B group. That's an excellent performance. She's earned brilliant points for Belarus there in quest for places for the Olympic Games. Yulia Artemova of the Ukraine ahead of Mun, who had that very good series in the clean and jerk. And good competition. 2 more titles up for stake tomorrow, the men's 77 and the women's 75. Well, we've got to rush away to other good things on Eurosport, but thank you so much for being with us and watching. From Randy Strossen of Iron Mind and myself, David Goldstrom, as ever, thanks for your company. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and if you can, do join us tomorrow, 4:30 for the men's 77, that's Central European time, 7 o'clock for the women's 75. For now, bye-bye from Disneyland in France.